This video is going to be a demonstration on how I could do a Stannous chloride test. So firstly, do this at your own discretion, at your own risk and safety. If you don't know what you're doing, don't do this. But for everyone else, this is my tips and suggestions on how I conduct it. So firstly, a quick summary of what a Stannous chloride test is you pretty much dissolve the gold and precious metals into the solution, and then you use what's called Stannous chloride. It's pretty much tin dissolved as a salt, and when you add it to the gold containing solution, it replaces and precipitates the gold out of the solution, and it pretty much changes the color of the solution, as you'll see later in the video. So this shows you what the color of the solution will look like after you add this. So anyways, this is the basics of what you'll need to conduct the test. Firstly, do this outside in a well ventilated area. Secondly, you're going to need a stirring hot plate, beaker, gloves, very important gloves. Again, if you don't know what you're doing, don't do this, but there's especially if you're doing this on ore, there will be platinum group metals, and platinum group metals, specifically platinum, causes what's called platinosis. So if you want to look that up, it's a very uncurable and not good illness to have. So again, be cautious what you're doing. So some nitric acid, muriatic acid. You can also use different types of acid, but for this one, this is the most easy accessible and simplest one that I'll be showing. And then the ore that you're going to be leaching. In my case, I'm just using some expended ore that I've already processed, and then some gold containing. This is just a CPU to add some gold just to demonstrate the test, as I don't have any gold containing ore. I've already used it all. Again, you want this Stannous chloride test solution. I suggest buying a already existing. You can make your own. There's lots of videos that show making your own, but especially doing this your first time, I suggest just buying it, because you'd be surprised messing things up. And you know, you're testing ore, and it doesn't show anything, but it turns out your solution is just messed up. So again, highly suggest just making it. And also another thing I suggest having is a solution a solution of gold containing liquid. So pretty much the point is that you occasionally use this on the gold testing solution to verify that this is still active, because this will expire. This has an expiration date. It's not last forever. So and then finally, these are called floating boats. Look up on Amazon lab floating boat, and you'll find a bunch of these for different sizes and whatever. I really like them. They're disposable, easy to, really cheap, and you get lots and lots of them. So also the acids, again, nitric acid, muriatic acid. I buy this on Walmart, on the Walmart website, not Walmart store. JSP is the one that sells it. So far, this is the best deal I've been able to find. They're typically $30 to $40 a liter. And then muriatic acid. So this is called hydrochloric acid. So this, actually, let's see. There you go, hydrochloric acid. 31%. So typically, make sure you don't buy substituted muriatic acid or anything else. Make sure it has hydrochloric acid in it, and that it's only hydrochloric acid. So anyways, let's get started. So what we'll do is put on our gloves. Again, make sure you do this outside in a well ventilated area, preferably in a fume hood. But this is just a simple demonstration. So we're gonna turn on our hot plate. We're gonna turn on the heat. Well, actually, no, sorry. Let's first fill it up with the solution. So you want a 1-to-3 ratio. So we'll just do 1 parts of this and then 3 parts of that. So I'll eyeball this, but pretty much since I'll be doing 200, I'll do a quarter of that, so 50 milliliters of this, and then 150 milliliters of the muriatic acid, and that'll give us a 1-to-3 ratio. Also, a respirator is highly suggested for this if you don't have good ventilation or good airflow. So we'll put that there. We'll turn on, we'll also add our, or just a bit of rocks. This doesn't really mean anything, it's just To give an example, and you don't need a lot of material, especially with ore. You don't need a lot of material to process. If you're just doing a simple test, you just literally need a very, very small amount. I'm just doing large scale so you can see how it works. So what we're gonna do then is heat it up. Let's put this closer. We're gonna heat this up, and then we're gonna enable or turn on the stirring. And what we have now going on is it's heating up, and he's using a magnetic stir underneath to start that up. And yeah, so now we're gonna come back after 30 minutes and see what we got. So it's only been 15 minutes, but as you see, the solution has already started to change color. So I've turned off the heating, or turned off the stirring. Technically, you see it's still bubbling. That means it's still reacting and still dissolving the gold and other stuff in the solutions. But we'll just leave this for now, and it'll work for demonstration purposes. But technically speaking, you want to keep going until it stops bubbling. And another good thing to have is one of these. So these are actually called a watch glass. You can actually find them on Amazon. Again, just type in watch glass and then lab in the search terms. Mine isn't big enough, but yeah, you get the point. And pretty much what it does is like a little lid, and the vapors, they condense and recirculate. Otherwise, especially if you're boiling this for a long time, it's just gonna completely evaporate. So this helps a lot with keeping in the fumes and running this a long time. Alright, now that it's cooled down, you want to cool down as much as possible. In this case, because I added that CPU chip, it's turned green, dissolving the copper. We just pour out a very little bit. This is actually too much, but just to point out the demonstration, you'll see this right as I add it, and it turns black. And that is proof that there is gold dissolved in this solution. So you don't want to add too much, but yeah, it's not enough. Again, I added too much of that initial solution, but there you go. It's turned pure black. And we look at our testing solution, and again, this is kind of difficult to I wouldn't use these colors precisely. Gold turning into like a black like this, that is normal, and as you see, I added too much and it's cleared out. So this is a finicky process. It's not precise. However, if it doesn't turn any color, if it doesn't darken like that, then that confirms that it doesn't have gold. So yeah, hope this video helps you. This is a very easy way on how to determining if there's gold in your solution, if the electronics, rocks, etc. I think it's a very good way for miners and stuff to process their ore. As for ore itself, there's a couple things I would do before running ore directly. Firstly is to do an acid wash. So what you would do is add nitric acid without the hydrochloric acid. So gold cannot dissolve in this or this by itself. It needs both of them in order to dissolve in the solution. Except for, well, anyway, so what I would do is first use nitric acid, dissolve out any of the base metals, all the other stuff, remove all that, and then wash it out. So what you do is you fill it up with water, all right, you mix it up, have all those materials settle to the bottom, pour it out, decant it until it's as little water is left as possible. Then you add water and keep doing that. Pretty much that's how you wash out the ore. And then you follow the steps that I described in order to do the test. That would also help with removing the copper. That way you don't have any green in the solution, because copper can kind of mess things up and kind of look like gold. It can make things brown, as you see here. In my experience, it's always turned black if there's gold. But anyway, so that's what I highly suggest, is using nitric acid first to wash out all the acid. Also, finally, another thing I'd like to say is to do this process, another great thing to do is also to roast the ore. So what you do is you heat up the ore in like on a really high temperature hot plate, or in a furnace, kiln, oven, whatever. Pretty much you need to get it up to like 600 Celsius for some time, and that pretty much cooks out all the breaks apart all the sulfide bonds, and removes all the sulfur in the ore, and that helps with processing this a lot better. So again, there's a lot of tips, a lot of suggestions on how to optimize this process, but on its simplest form, it does work, and it works pretty effectively. So Thanks for watching. I hope this tutorial's helped you, and subscribe if you are interested in more content like this.